Hi, I'm Danny Harris, Fleet Services Manager with Circle Leasing, and we'd like to offer you some tips on how to save money with the return of your end of contract lease vehicles. Okay, let's start with the bits and pieces we can do in advance. Remember the book pack and keys. We ask you to remove the book packs, keep them safe, take the spare keys. So now's the time to check that the book pack's all there, service book's in there, and if it's requiring a service due to time and or mileage, you can have that stamped and up to date ready. And if you're not sure of your service schedules, etc., just go onto our website at www.circleleasing.com. You'll find service check sheets there, service schedules there, etc. Make sure everything's up to date. Let's have a look inside and see what we're doing. So here we go, in the car. Glove box, put the book pack away, that's safe and sound. Service history's up to date, etc. Everything's done there. Might want to just check the mileage, make sure you've got a note of the final mileage because it will be relevant to your contract, particularly based on the time and mileage factor of your contract. From here, we're going to check the interior of the vehicle. You're looking for any damage, scuffs, marks, etc., any remnants of any stickers that you've had in the car, and you want to make sure that there's no burns in the carpets, burns in the seats, any damage, wear and tear, excessive wear and tear, and things that might need replacement. So we're checking the glove box, everything's okay. Check the sun visors, mirrors are all intact, lights are there, everything's there that should be there. Interior mirrors there. Check the windscreen whilst we're looking through just to see if there's any signs of chips, scratches or cracks, etc. And check the dashboard, everything's intact, everything okay, all controls are present, everything's fine. Spillages and stains of this nature need to be sorted before the car's returned. It's cheaper for you to clean that than it is for us to charge you for it, and it will save you money at the end of the lease. One thing we recommend is that you use our Fair Play guide. It gives you a good idea of the return standards expected on your courtesy cars, and certainly the centre pages provide a good 10-point check with all the key items. And also it identifies our magnets, which are the only standards that you can use for the size of a dent or the size of a scratch which is within tolerance as per our Fair Play guide and as per the BVRLA fair wear and tear instructions. Outside the vehicle we're going to start a systematic check now. We're going to start with the front wing, front wheel, tyre, etc. Make sure everything's well within tolerance. And this is a good time to introduce the magnets. If you spot damage, for instance there's a scratch here on the top of this wing, set the magnet, have a look, check it against it. That scratch is well within tolerance, so there's no work required there. If it was beyond the 25mm, yeah, you'd have to carry out a repair to it. Looking down the remainder of the wing, everything else looks clean. Wheels in good condition, no damage, tyres in good condition. Looking at the front of the vehicle, we want to be checking that everything's intact. No scratches, no dents on the bonnet, headlight lenses are all clear, indicator lenses are all clear, and no damage to the front of the vehicle. And on this vehicle, everything seems fine. Moving to the near side front wing, we want to be having a look down the length of the car to see if there's any damage, any dents that we've picked up, car park dents, etc. While we're here, check the near side front wheel, make sure everything's okay with that. Again, no damage to the alloy. Check the rims, the edges of the rims especially, because that's where they usually sustain all the damage. And again, check the wing, make sure everything's clear and everything looks to be okay. Onto the near side front door, we want to be checking not only the door, the glass, the mirror and the mirror glass. It's all part of potential area of cost here. So again, we want to check the door, make sure there's no dents and scratches. Check the mirror particularly for damage, because there's a lot of these mirrors that sustain damage on the indicator units. And check the glass. So let's have a look at the interior whilst we're here. Check the seat, passenger seat, make sure everything's intact, all the trims in one piece, handles are in place, no damage to the door panels, to the sills and to the trims here. Everything okay there? Move on to the near side rear door. Okay, so moving to the near side rear door, again we want to be checking the panel, scratches, dents, glass, make sure there's no chips, scratches, etc. everything looks okay, into the door. Okay, so here we are on the near side rear interior. Again, we're checking trims, we're checking handles, switches, everything's there. Checking seats, and one thing we've noticed here, large stain on the rear seat here that needs to be cleaned. And again, it's going to save you time and money to have that done before you return the car. So moving to the near side rear wing, we want to check the wing, check the panel, rear glass. Again, wheel, tyre, make sure everything's okay. No damage to the wheel, everything's fine. Let's move to the rear of the car. Here at the rear of the vehicle, we want to be checking things like rear windscreen, make sure everything's intact, rear wiper arm and blade, both rear light lenses to make sure there's no cracks, damages or broken lenses, and the rear number plate and rear bumper area. Again, checking for damage, scuffs, scratches, etc. On this one, everything seems fine, so in we go. Here in the boot area, raise the tailgate, we want to be making sure that parcel shelf that's often missing is back in place. The number of these that we lose, or you lose, seem to be vast. We want to make sure the rear head restraints are back in place, and we also want to make sure that the boot area is clean, free from damage, cuts, burns, etc. In here, we want to be looking to make sure the spare wheel's present, the jack, the tools, the locking wheel nut key. And remember, some of the cars don't have spare wheels. If they don't, there should be a full inflation kit present. If the inflation kit has been used, you need to replace the cartridge before you return the vehicle. One final thing to check while you're here, make sure the aerial mast is present. Again, they seem to go missing for some reason. Costly item. And just check the roof line, make sure there's no dents, scratches or obvious damage there. Moving on to the offside rear wing, again we want to be checking the wing panel, the quarter panel, petrol flap, make sure everything's intact, petrol caps in place. Down to the wheel and tyre, again checking for damage, any damage to the rim, any damage to the tyre. Whilst we're down here, let's just take a look along the line of the car, make sure there's no car park dents to this side of the car, everything's fine. Everything on the door seems to be okay, glass is clean, no scratches, no chips, into the door. Again, here on the interior, we're checking seat condition, making sure head restraints are in place, making sure there's no damage to trims, door panels, etc. Sill panels, sills, everything's fine, everything looks okay. Okay, so that's it. That's quite a fine example of a return courtesy car. Just a couple of bits on it that need rectification, but I'm sure you'd see to those. One final thing, this car didn't have any logos or stickers on it. Had it done, you would need to remove them in advance. You'd also need to make sure that there's no remnants of glue left on the vehicle. And also, one final check, just make sure there's no hidden car park dents behind there. Everything we've told you about today is outlined here in Fair Play, and particularly in the middle pages of Fair Play is our check sheet to help you with this end of contract process. Use the Fair Play guide, use the magnets. Anything else you need to assist you with this process is outlined on our website at www.circleleasing.com. You can download a copy of Fair Play, you can order some magnets if you haven't already got some, and there's lots of useful hints and tips there for you to use. One final thing, on page 6 of Fair Play, it outlines what a collection driver may note down during the collection process. Just have a read of that, because you have to be aware that once you sign for damage, that damage is your responsibility. Hope you found everything useful today, and I hope it will be of use to you in the future. Thank you.